According to the Food and Agriculture Organization's corporate statistical database, agriculture makes up nearly 20% of Sub-Saharan Africa's economy, a higher percentage than any other region worldwide. The continent is home to 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. Unfortunately, and despite gradual progress made towards the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the COVID-19 pandemic aggravated the challenges faced by sub-Saharan African countries, making the agricultural sector even more critical in ensuring food security. On this episode of The Five, we look at the 5 most produced cash crops in Africa. Maize. Maize is Africa's most important cereal crop and an important staple food for more than 1.2 billion people in sub-Saharan Africa and Latin America. All parts of the crop can be used for food and non-food products. For these reasons, several African countries that depend on maize as a staple food crop have adopted agricultural policies to maintain a steady supply of the commodity through increased production and productivity of the crop. Africa consumes 30% of the maize produced in the world, with sub-Saharan Africa alone accounting for 21% of the consumption. South Africa is the largest producer of maize in Africa, followed by Ethiopia, Zambia, Nigeria, and Malawi. Sugarcane. Sub-Saharan Africa is one of the world's regions most suited for growing sugarcane, with its favorable climate and available land. In spite of this, the African continent accounts for just around 6% of global sugar output, half of which is concentrated in COMESA countries. This figure is expected to grow to 8% by 2029. While local production takes place on a relatively small scale, countries in the region are among the world's largest net exporters. Looking ahead, the industry's continued development will be supported by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which will help facilitate continental trade by reducing or eliminating tariff and non-tariff barriers. However, establishing supportive and sustainable ecosystems and regulatory frameworks will also be necessary to improve competitiveness and boost yields. Yams. Yams' history in Africa goes back 11,000 years when cultivation began. Africa's yam production is 97% of the global total production. West Africa is known as the Yam Belt, covering Nigeria, Ghana, Benin, Togo, and Côte d'Ivoire. With over 60 million people across the Yam Belt directly or indirectly involved in its production, yam cultivation is an important component of the region's economic vitality. Yam also has high cultural value, being used in fertility ceremonies, and a festival is held annually to celebrate its harvest. The global yam market is projected to register a compound annual growth rate of 3.5% between 2020 and 2025, making yam a crop that Africa can take advantage of for food and profit. Rice. In West and East Africa, rice is one of the most important staple foods. However, not nearly enough of it is cultivated to account for rapid population growth, as rice farmers in Africa continue to farm below their actual yield potential. Nonetheless, small farmers in countries like Burkina Faso, Ghana, Nigeria, and Tanzania are being supported in boosting their rice harvest, improving product quality, and raising their incomes. Rice has been cultivated for more than 3,000 years in parts of Africa. The crop is grown in about 40 out of 54 countries, with rice cultivation being the principal activity and source of income for more than 35 million smallholder rice farmers across the continent. The rice sector represents a pathway out of poverty in Africa, as rice availability and prices have become major determinants of the welfare of the poorest sections of African consumers. Sorghum. In terms of tonnage, sorghum is Africa's second most important cereal. The continent produces about 20 million tons of sorghum per annum, about 1/3 of the world crop. However, these figures do not do justice to the importance of sorghum in Africa. It is the only viable food grain for many of the world's most food-insecure people. Sorghum originated in Africa. It is uniquely adapted to Africa's climate, being both drought-resistant and able to withstand periods of waterlogging. Sorghum in Africa is processed into a wide variety of attractive and nutritious traditional foods. In Eastern and Southern Africa, it is primarily a crop of resource-poor, small-scale farmers and is typically produced under adverse conditions such as low input use and marginal land. Sorghum production in Africa takes place across the continent, with Nigeria, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Burkina Faso accounting for nearly 70% of Africa's production. Vast populations in the region still experience acute food insecurity and lack access to basic digital technologies. As the main backbone of most of Sub-Saharan Africa's economies, agriculture remains a priority sector. Its digitalization is therefore fundamental to leveraging the benefits of digital technologies in transforming societies, improving livelihoods, and accelerating the ability of the Sustainable Development Goals to eradicate poverty.